everyone. So good to have you joining us today. Our hope for today, and if you're watching, we look kind of holiday because we're talking about Christmas. And if you're listening on Charisma Podcast, we'll sound cheerful like Christmas. I want to introduce to you a friend of mine, Val Stewart. She is the associate pastor of the First United Methodist in my hometown, Waxahachie, Texas. Welcome, Val.
Thank you so much, John.
So, Val is a really cheerful person, and I wanted somebody happy to talk about Christmas because not everybody's happy about Christmas or holidays. You may be in a nation that doesn't celebrate Christmas, but you can insert your holiday when we talk about Christmas, your major holiday, because it's all universal.
That's true.
And Christmas, we're looking at, we're going to put on here the website that we got this at. It's a blog, so you're seeing it on the screen right there. You can get more information there. But we just want to hit some highlights today and talk about how to make your holiday, your Christmas, happier. Do you have happy Christmases?
I do.
Yeah, you said your son gets to be home for the holidays. He's
generally
in the Army, right?
He is.
Yeah, so that's exciting. People come back together, but not everybody gets excited when family gets back together.
Sometimes.
It can be a stressful time for
be.
people.
It can.
And you know, we in this nation have just been through a contentious election cycle. And I would say probably keep that off the table.
Always.
Yeah, always. So we just have 10 points that we're going to go through. Comment on point 2 about service. I want to talk about what Val does and what she does really well. But the first one, connecting to the deeper meaning of the season. How would you suggest somebody does that?
I think probably whatever your faith tradition is, I think just digging deeper into that, finding a resource through your church or synagogue, whatever your faith tradition is, finding a way to just deepen your faith and your study in that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And just, you know, it's a little deeper than Santa Claus and elves.
Yes, indeed.
And quite really a lot deeper. And you dig down to why am I even celebrating this? When you can get to the core of why you're celebrating, it becomes more joyful.
It does.
Yeah, because if it's just about Santa Claus and elves, what's the meaning?
It's a little too thin.
Yeah. Secondly, the second thing to make your Christmas happier would be to serve someone. I am getting my doctorate through Asbury Theological Seminary, and one of my assignments is called ethnographic study, is to choose a church and attend their church for a few services, interview people, get to know this service or this church, and come up with one word to describe it. And my one word for First United Methodist was service. And you introduced me to some wonderful people.
Yes.
I'm going to put up their pictures. There's Susan and Janet and Jim and Janet's husband, John. Jim and Janet. Yeah,
yes.
That's right. So they were great people. Interviewed them in your office.
Yes.
And they told me how they serve, and they didn't have to tell me how they served. I just saw service week after week.
That's right.
In your church. So what does serving do to get people in a better mood?
Well, I think it blesses you. You might bless someone else with the way you serve, the way you give, but it blesses you doubly.
Right.
It makes you feel good. If you're down or you're having a hard time, if you do something for somebody else, I mean, just if you buy the guy behind you in line a cup of coffee, it's going to make your day great.
Right. Well, you guys were so convincing. I think it was my second service there. They said, we're passing out blue bags in the lobby, and we want you to fill it with food for Thanksgiving, which we do that here, but I'm like, hey, I'm participating, and they sold me. So I did a Thanksgiving meal. It was fun. That Sunday in the lobby, it was filled with blue bags. But I found out that's just one of many, many, many things you do. My first time to attend there was called WOW.
Yeah, Worship Outside the Walls.
Tell us about that.
Well, that is an annual event that's been going on, I want to say about 12, maybe 13 years. And so we partner with about maybe 9 area churches, and everybody gets together, has breakfast, and then we go out and we cover the town with worship services in the nursing homes and just doing things at local charities like the food pantry, or whoever needs a little help sprucing up, or maybe just doing some yard work for an older person that
Right.
needs help. Whatever's needed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've been there how long?
Well, since 2011.
2011.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're well loved there, and you seem to love it.
Oh, I do love it
Yeah.
very much. I love this town, and I just love the warmth of this community in general.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good setup, a good church. And,
It is.
yeah, very warm. Another one is celebrate the season with forgiveness. You know, a lot of family members get stressed out because they're seeing family members they hadn't seen
That's
since
right.
last Christmas.
That's right.
And maybe it didn't go so well, or they're tense, and just forgiveness is big, isn't it?
It is. It is. And I mean, that's one of those things Jesus asked us to do
Right.
over and over
Right.
again, because it is a hard thing.
It is hard, but it's so clear in the Bible.
It
God
is.
says, if you want me to forgive your sins, you must forgive
That's
those
right.
who've wounded you or hurt you.
That's right.
Now, that doesn't mean you pick up where you left off of being hurt. I
That's
mean,
right.
you can still guard yourself, you can still have boundaries, but we must forgive.
We must forgive.
You know,
Yes.
I have struggled, Val, at times in my life with not forgiving, and here's what I found out. It was hurting me more than them.
Absolutely, it does.
They went on with life,
That's
and
right.
I was bearing a grudge.
Yeah, I hold on to my
Yeah.
thing, and nobody else is holding on to it.
Right,
You
right.
find
It
out.
was all me.
Right.
So when inevitably when I would say, "Hey, I just need to forgive you," and they're
That's
like, "Oh yeah, I'm good." I'm like, I was the one.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So this would be a good season of forgiveness. Another one is make it fun and festive. What do you do to make Christmas fun?
I think it's just about doing those things that you enjoy. If you like to bake,
Mhm.
bake something you like.
That's good.
You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be hard. You can do
Right.
something you like to do. Or if you like to craft, or if you like to work a fun jigsaw puzzle, or play a game with,
Mhm.
play a Christmas game with the neighbor kids, whatever it is that you enjoy doing.
I
Just
think
do
that's
it.
very important
Yeah.
because if not, you're going to get lost in the chaos.
That is exactly right.
And then it's not fun for you or anybody around you. And Santa may not visit.
There you go.
Point 5 on this blog was create a new family. And I think it's important, especially the way people have moved away from one another.
Absolutely.
You know, I was talking actually to a lady from your church yesterday, and she was kin to the Chisholms, and said they were here for over 100 years and still connected to your church. That's pretty rare now
It is.
because people just disperse and
They
go, and we may come together once, twice, 3 or 4 times a year, but also celebrate the people who are like family to you.
That's exactly
And
right.
so we've already been to 2 Thanksgiving dinners, and it's not even Thanksgiving
It's not
yet. Yeah, so and they were no family members there. You know, it was
Isn't that
these
cool?
were just people who are like family,
Exactly.
and that prepares me for holidays too.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
just reach out to those people that are your chosen family.
Right.
I call them my chosen
I like that.
family.
I like that. I like that. And you kind of already talked about this one, but do what you love. That's what
Mhm.
makes it fun and festive for you. You know, in doing what you love, I think it's important to be able to say no to some things that you don't love.
And that's the hard part.
It is hard, isn't it?
Well, you don't want to disappoint other
Right.
people.
Right.
But at the same time, you don't want to be in a big mess that you don't want to be
No,
in.
because there's
So-
only so many hours in a day and so many days in the month of December.
So exactly. So you just have to figure out what your boundaries are
Right,
going to be.
Right, and then do what you really enjoy, what makes you happy and smile. Not that it's selfish, but there are so many choices.
That's it.
Pick the ones that are going to bring joy.
Right.
This is interesting. They put on here, become the neighborhood secret Santa.
What
What do you think about that?
Oh, I love that. I think that's a marvelous idea.
I think so too.
You know, I mean, just surprise somebody with a little ornament or some
Right.
cookies or something, or a little gift card.
Right.
Something that would just brighten somebody's day.
Yeah, we have a lady in our neighborhood, and there's over 100 houses, and she bakes a tin of cookies for everyone.
Oh, I want
So
to
she's
be in
our
your
favorite.
neighborhood.
She's our favorite. Yeah,
Absolutely.
everybody loves her. She can get away with anything the other 364 days of the year. You know, this is something you could do in your downtime: is make a list of all the things in your life that are wonderful, all the good things,
That's
because
right.
you got to have balance. Because when we're spending money on gifts and arranging family dinners and outings and parties to go to, all this different stuff, we get lost in the mix.
We
And
sure do.
it's good to probably make that list at the beginning
Oh, I think
of December and refresh
Right.
yourself maybe that, hey, there is good stuff going on, and I have a great life.
I like that idea. I
Yeah.
think that's an important step.
Yeah, I think it is too. Here's point 9: get up, get dressed, and get out. What do you
That's
think
good.
about that?
Well, I think it's very easy to hibernate.
Yes.
You know, especially if you're not feeling particularly festive, it's easy to put on your pajamas and watch Christmas movies.
be the Hallmark clown.
Yes, yes, and live vicariously through
Right.
others.
Yeah, that's good. That's called escapism, isn't it?
And that's not good for any of
No,
us.
no.
We need to get out there and live life with other people and enjoy people and make those connections. Because when we isolate, that never is good
Right.
for us.
And here in the United States, we put up Christmas lights on buildings,
Yep.
houses,
We do.
have things in our front yards that light up. And so if you don't do that, get in your car and drive to where they do it.
That's
that
right.
will get you in the mood.
It will.
Yeah.
It will.
And even if you don't want to shop right now, maybe go to a store that celebrates Christmas, or to a mall or a restaurant that decorates. It'll get you in the mood.
It will.
Yeah, it'll do it. And then this last one, I like it. Put yourself on Santa's nice list. Yeah, I think the key is being kind in this holiday season. Always realizing, I guess being present would be
Yes.
one.
Absolutely.
Being cognizant of what's going on inside you. If you're irritated, try not to project that onto somebody
That's
else.
right.
And with family members. So you've been a pastor how many years?
Oh, since 2018.
So you probably talked to some people who said Christmas is difficult with me for families.
course.
What do you tell them?
I always tell them to just be themselves,
Okay.
to be who you are, and to extend yourself lovingly and forgivingly to others,
That's
and
good.
to do the things that make you happy.
Right. I like that. What I see with families is when we don't see our family very often, and if it's not the healthiest of families,
Right.
you can slide back into the role you played growing up
as a child.
as a
yes.
child
Mhm.
and lose your voice or lose your peace or your
Right.
joy.
Mhm.
So I like that. You got to be yourself,
Mhm.
be authentic. They may not appreciate it wholly, but it's something they need to get used to.
Well, and you have to do it for yourself.
Exactly.
Too.
Exactly. It's not
Yeah.
for the family.
That's it.
But in expressing yourself, be kind. Stay on the nice
That's
list.
right.
Because
That's it.
we can do that.
We can.
And then
We
if it-
can be assertive and kind.
Yeah, and then if it gets too much, leave the room. That's what I
we
say.
do.
Yeah, just
That's what we do.
time out.
And we all know what this means.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, time out. And not setting you up for disasters at
No,
all.
no,
This is
no.
joyful. Because
Yeah.
you want to, after the holidays are over, to be able to look back and say, you know what, that was as best as it could, the best
That's
it could be.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
it was joyful, and I feel good.
That's
And I want you to feel good in everything you do. That's why I call this Hope for Today, and especially hope for the season coming up, because it's about Christ. We're celebrating Christ at Christmas. Now, I know there are people who are watching from other nations. You have different traditions. You have different, maybe people you worship. To us, Christ is very important. And he's the Son of the living God. And this is our day that is designated as his birth. We don't know when his birthday really
No, we
is.
don't.
We don't know. we just think it's somewhere in there, but it's the day on our calendar when we really celebrate Jesus and all he's done. And when we get to the core of that, that brings the joy to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Well, I hope this has been helpful to you. Is there anything you want to add?
Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you for including me.
Of
And
course.
I'm already feeling a little Christmasier and happier.
Well, good. Well, we will go out to some Christmas music then. So thank you for being with us today. And Val, thank you for being my friend. Thank you for serving the body of Christ and for your words of wisdom and joy. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.